Hi friends, welcome to my studio. I'm Katie, and today I thought it would be fun to give you an update on my custom planner that I'm using for 2022. So I talked about this kind of before I had started using it in this video up here, where I was talking about why a custom planner was the right thing for me this year and how I was planning on setting it up. And I'm almost 2 months in, and I thought it would be fun to talk about it real quick. So this is the planner cover I'm using. This is from Planners Anonymous. This particular one is sold out, but they have a number of different SKUs. And at the time of posting this, there is a big site-wide sale going on. I will post the details in the description. So I bought a number more at 40%. They're trying to clear the warehouse so that they can get some new stuff in. So I cannot recommend these highly enough. They come both in this B6 size and in a classic size, although the patterns are a little different for different ones. So this is like the exterior of what I'm using. Gorgeous. I'm working on trying to close my planner at the end of the day every day so that in the morning I can see this artwork, because I find that I just leave it open and I actually never get to really enjoy how pretty it is. I did not intentionally paint my nails to match, but here we are. Or my sweatshirt. What can I say? I'm a consistent kind of person, except for the places I'm not. So this is still working great for me. I have it on, I can't get this, like a stand so that it is like propped up in front of me at my desk, which I really like. And that works well for me. So 2 big thumbs up for this. I still haven't made a front cover. Like I have this clear plastic, but I've been meaning to put something pretty here, and I really should do that. But again, it's not a place that I look very often because it's usually sitting open at my weekly spread. These are die cuts from Planners Anonymous, and they come with every kit, and I have been switching them out every week to go with my spread, which is a little ridiculous, but I have them and it doesn't cost me anything to just stick them in the pockets, and it's fun. All right, so this is like my future planning perpetual calendar. There's not a lot that's exciting here, but I would say it's helpful because if you didn't watch that video, I'm not printing my weeks or my months in advance. And so this is a good place to know that I have a dentist appointment on March 15th. It's on my Google Calendar too, so I will know that on the week of March 15th, but in January when I'm wondering when my dentist appointment is, it's handy to have that. So it's not a super detailed view because I don't have anything that interesting going on very often. I live a dull life in a pandemic, so this reflects that. This is my kind of trackers. I have a whole complicated system that I won't go into now about daily tracking of various things, and this is kind of like hopefully going to be a year in pixels. I'm a couple days behind. They're correct on the spreadsheet where I actually calculate these numbers. I just haven't gone in and put the dots in, but I'm really enjoying that. I think it's going to look nice by the end, and I haven't had too many bad days. So one day I haven't tracked it all. The spread isn't working for me. We'll see if I come around on it. In my classic size, I use this to track takeout, and I would put the date and the name and what we got and if we liked it, because we've been very consciously trying to support the local restaurants in our area. There are a lot of independently owned bars and restaurants in this town, and I want them to continue. It's one of my favorite things about living here. But shrunk down, this doesn't work quite so well for me, and I haven't been using it. And I had extra spaces in my classic from last year, and so that's where I've been doing that. I think maybe I could benefit from reprinting this, but like enlarged, so maybe like down a row, bigger. I'm not sure. It's just too small, and I write pretty small. All right, then I've got a YouTube stats tracker here where there's nothing pretty about that, but it's just my statistics. This whole first section is my HB90 prep work for the year. It's possible that maybe when this quarter's over, I will take out a lot of these extra sheets because it adds a significant bulk to my planner. We'll see, and then I'll put Q2 in here. But anyway, that's working fine for me. I'm glad I did that prep work. I'm glad I set my goals. I'm not going to go through what they like all are, but there was a place where I like actually set the goals that I'm trying to get to, and then there was a spot where I put milestones here for each month. And so that's related because when we go into the month, I made my dividers out of scrapbook paper, and I didn't print like a monthly page on it. And the one I did for February is prettier because it's double-sided. So I never used the monthly page, you know, like the big calendar one. It doesn't work for me. I'm not interested in it. I don't use it. Usually that stuff lives in my Google Calendar, or if it's like a scheduled appointment, or if it's not a scheduled appointment, it's just like a thing I would like to get done. That lives on my HB90 like quarterly plan. I'm going to talk about how all my different systems integrate in a future video, but that's on like post-it notes on my Kanban board off to the side. So I don't use that. And so I was trying to think of like what I might actually use. And I don't believe I showed this in that previous video, so I kind of wanted to talk about it. So here I put the milestones that I was hoping to achieve for those goals. I did okay on some of them and worse on others. Here's my future planning kinds of stuff, like what was on this first page, but just for this month. I put a place for ideas and then didn't write anything, so I put some stickers. What I've covered here are some stats that I'm hoping to hit in the month of January. So I wrote my before numbers and my after numbers and my goal for the quarter numbers to see how I was comparing. And then I have like a tiny calendar here where I just use a dotting marker to like keep track of when I watered my houseplants and when I sent an email to my email list, because I like to do that regularly, but I don't like to do it frequently because no one wants too much email. On the back, I had more spots for ideas. I thought this would be a good place for things that weren't scheduled for a specific week, but that I like wanted to do, and I didn't use it. So in February, I changed that. All right, let's talk about weekly spreads. So this was my first weekly in January, and I love decorating it. I've been really happy moving down to the B6 size. Sometimes I feel like, oh, this is kind of small, but I'm always like really pleased with how it turns out. And it's really the right thing for me because I usually only write between 3 and 6 things a day. And in this one, even like I don't actually have a box for Thursday. So this is the right size for me. I don't have to like use as much stuff to decorate it in order to like get the space down to what feels right. So this is a comfortable size for me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to stay at the B6 size, although I've never stayed in a planner longer than 6 months, so we have to see. But I'm hoping that how I've set this up will change that. So part of that I talked about in the video was that I like to change layouts all the time. And so I wanted to print each layout independently for the week, but I didn't want to tape run every page to the page before it. That's what I was doing in my Happy Planner Classic. And the HB90 system has a sheet for like the tasks you're doing that week, how long you think they'll take, and how long they actually took, and then a breakdown of how you spent your time based on those goals. So I liked this, and then on the end of the week, there are some weekly reflections to think of how the week went, and I also really enjoy doing that. having said that, this is a system I can continue. This one I did for like 3 weeks and then stopped. So I think I need to figure out what this page should look like. I like the idea of doing some pre-planning and some like setting myself up for success for the week, but I don't think this is it. I think this works great for some people. I thought it was really beneficial to track this time for a little bit and to get an idea of how long it takes me to edit a YouTube video and how long it takes to film and to like, you know, do my weekly Instagram scheduling and whatever. There was value in tracking that and learning what those numbers are, but I'm not sure there's value for me in tracking it every single day. And I'm now using a daily planner. I keep talking about that and I haven't posted it yet because it's been evolving, but that will come out soon. And that kind of also is keeping track of this data just passively. So I need to reconsider what will work well for me here. I plan on looking at a bunch of other planners and seeing what I can incorporate because I love looking at other planners and getting ideas. And I will gladly buy a PDF planner that I think is doing a good job and incorporate some of that into my own system. So if you have any suggestions for like planners that do great weekly prep work, let me know. But I do love having these all print together. Like, so these two sheets, front and back, are one sheet of letter-sized paper. And so I just print it, cut it, and I'm done. And it doesn't then dictate what I do on the next week. And I really like that. So this is the same planner layout. This isn't really meant to be a flip through. So all of that went exactly the same here. Haven't changed that. This is a different layout and I would love that I was able to like just print it right on. Here, this is the same page so this one's from the HB90. This one is is like the same information that I like rearranged myself. But as you can tell, I didn't use it. I like the redesign. I think it uses the space better for me in this layout, but I didn't use it. It's just hard to keep track of, and I didn't feel like it. And then at the end of the month, there's a monthly review. I enjoy doing that too, and it's just one like half sheet, front and back, so I didn't need to come up with anything. All of this was part of the HB90 system. Here I printed another divider for February. I printed this at Staples on their 110 cardstock, and it's really nice. I highly recommend that if your printer can't nicely print cardstock. 2 thumbs up for this. And I was able to do it double-sided. This is from the Planners Anonymous Sweet Art Digital Kit, and I thought it was perfect for February. So here is almost exactly the same spread that I showed you in January. The only thing I changed is this used to be ideas and I wasn't using it. Now I'm doing a little bit of money tracking. So I've covered that up. This is how much I'm spending on planner stuff because I wanted to be armed with that information. So this is all working pretty well for me. But I changed the back of it because you'll remember it was ideas and I wasn't using that. This is a spread that's from Light's Planner Action. She has all these like memory keeping, and I will post a link to those. It's as like, I bought the B6 rings size and then I like just printed this one page that was in there, which I think you'll be able to do. It could be a little challenging if you're not familiar with publishing software, but this is just like a little memory keeping to do per month, and I enjoy just kind of filling it out once a week. It's usually I have an ongoing Zoom call with my friends on Wednesdays and we watch TV together, but I like to play with this while I talk to them. So these are my first blackout spreads. These are also from Light's Planner Action, and here my priorities are different, where I don't want to waste pages because they're a little expensive. They're worth it. So here I didn't do the prep work, which is fine because I wasn't doing it. And I didn't do the reflections because I knew I wanted to use the back of the sheet, and I didn't want, so I could have done those reflections somewhere else. I didn't. I feel like they're worth doing, but they're not like mission critical for me. So if it doesn't work for me in a specific scenario, I'm totally fine with skipping it. You'll notice I don't want to say I'm not a particularly rigid person, because there are ways in which I very much am. But in this scenario, I do what works in the given scenario, and I just wanted to use both the front and the back of this page. However, once I was done with this spread, I did want to go out of using blackout and go back to white paper. And so I just used the layout and did my weekly reflections right on here in white gel pen. I ignored the, days of the week and just lettered some things and made use of the page. Not, to its fullest extent, but at least I wasn't just like taping over it, which I feel bad doing. Here's that weekly spread that I am not using, prep work. Here's the week. I haven't done the reflections yet because today is the day I would do them. Here I had a misprint. So I printed this layout. This plan with me should be up. I filmed it yesterday and uploaded it. I was trying to print on this scrapbook paper. I had a misprint and printed this instead of something else on the front. And that's fine. I think I will do what I tried to do here, which is make use of it, ignoring the parts that don't work for me. Some kind of weekly prep work here, and then my weekly spread. And then I'll do my reflections right in here. Again, ignoring the things. I just don't want to waste paper. I don't want to waste tape. I don't want I'm only 2 months in and it's already significantly chunky based on the other stuff I've got in there and all the stickers I've got. So I'm just trying to make use of what I have, trying to be flexible. And then I've got my February review. And then these are just some random sheets that misprints or a random spread I haven't used yet where I was practicing a digital technique. So I've got some random things here that I can use, but these aren't dated. They aren't necessarily what I will use until they're ready for me, and they are double-sided, so I can, do the reflections or whatever on here if I need to. So what am I going to change for March? I think the monthly spread is working for me. I'm going to keep it exactly as it is. I like both sides of it at the moment. I can always change it. I'm not committed to anything, but for March, I plan to print it exactly as is. I like the reflections. I'm going to keep doing the weekly reflections, probably from HB90, because I haven't gotten myself together to change them, but I think I am going to look around and see. I'm not the kind of person who does the same thing every week very happily, so I might go and look to see if there are other reflections from other goal setting notebooks out there. This is what I need to redesign, and perhaps I will spend today doing that. I'm going to look around. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. My favorite YouTubers who review and do in-depth planner flip-throughs are Cindy, Guentert-Baldo, and a channel called Amanda's Favorites. I will link both of them below, but they both go through a lot of planners, and I like to get inspiration from them. I don't just directly copy them, or in this case I did, but I don't sell things I've directly copied, but I like to figure out what works for me, and if I feel like I really like what someone is doing, I'm happy to buy, particularly if it's a PDF, because I don't want to own a physical object. I'm happy to pay the creator for what they've made. So just want to be clear about that. I am very pro independent artist and designer. So I think everything else will stay the same for March. I did buy several new planner covers, and they should be coming in the next couple weeks, which will put me into March. We'll see when I decide to switch this in and out. I plan on just changing based on time of year. I only have the one planner of this size. I got an A6 daily and a week's work planner. So all planner covers I buy in this size will be for this planner, and I kind of plan on switching them out based on this season and the spread I'm doing. So I hope you found this interesting. If you have any questions, please leave them below. As I said, any suggestions for planner designs you think I might like, please leave them below. I am an absolute nerd for this. Like, I just love design, and I love to see what other people have designed. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, friends.